My favorite part of the show is at the beginning.
Oh, I'm
We're
always
just
in position.
frozen, waiting. Wait. Are we live? Are we live? We're
We are.
live.
We
Yes,
are.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome, everybody. You are now tuned into the hottest podcast across the land, the hottest podcast across the globe, and definitely the hottest podcast right here on YouTube Live. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We go by Move, mixture of variety entertainment. I go by the name Patient Zero. My beautiful co-host who is right there.
Nikki P.
Please give it up one time. Give it up one time.
Absolutely.
And you know what, Nikki P?
What?
In about a week, actually exactly a week, I don't have to point and say, there she is, because I'm going to squeeze her face.
Guys.
She's coming down to Florida, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to Florida.
Yes, indeed.
And at this time, in exactly 7 days, I will already be there.
Yeah.
I will have had my non-alcoholic Bloody Marys, so tomato juice, and
right, tomato juice with
survive the
celery.
plane.
Yep.
Survive, and I will make it.
Yes, you will. Smooth sailing, I tell you. Smooth sailing. And speaking of smooth sailing, this is a podcast. Yeah, TGIF for everybody. First of all, thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and love you all. And if you don't know what we're even getting into, this is a podcast, a video podcast, and we talk about anything and everything, ladies and gentlemen. We could talk about what we're talking about tonight, addiction, mental health, to having sex with gay midget aliens and everything in between. And we happen to have a gay midget alien right here with his pride flag ready for tonight's show.
He's lit up. He's ready.
Yeah, he's definitely ready.
It's like, this is the actual epidemic in America.
Yeah, yeah, right? Exactly. So, there you have it. And before we go any further, Nikki P, what do they got to do?
Well, obviously, go into your browsers, type in Mixture Variety Podcast. You will see our beautiful faces. You will see the YouTube link, and you will please like, comment, subscribe, and share.
It's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
as simple as that.
And then you get a like if you ring the bell, you'll get a notification when we're live, like right now.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Exactly.
Actually,
you could be doing something. Got mine. Well, there you go. You could be doing something, going somewhere, doing whatever, not even realizing that it's 9 o'clock and, still be notified. So that is a beautiful thing. We do have 2 sponsor affiliates if you want to check them out. They are Cloudy and they are Smart Patches. Smart Patches is for a hangover the day after, which is, we don't really have to talk about today. But if you have a hangover.
That's awful.
And Cloudy is a self-diffuser. If you want more information about that, the links are right there below. And make sure you check it out.
And if you want a mocktail with lavender and aptogens, you could check out Curious Elixirs, which are amazing. They have 8 different flavors right now with unwinding aptogen properties. They are not an affiliate, but they will be soon.
They will be soon. Speak it into existence and manifest that shit. That's another shirt we should have for our merch. Manifest that shit.
Manifest that shit.
Yeah. Right?
Amen.
So, I don't know. What am I missing, Nikki P? I think we covered everything for the first, and we are talking about addiction. Yes, the disclaimer. Thank you. We can't go on without the disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen. The disclaimer is,
guys. It's October.
I knew I was going to forget something. If you get butthurt, easy, or sensitive, this podcast is definitely not for you. Sticking twisted, dark humor, vulgar, uncensored language, and politically incorrect conversations are just some of the things.
And fun.
You'll hear on Mixture of Variety, which means listener and viewer discretion is definitely advised. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Granny is not with us at the moment.
I know. I was shocked she shared the addiction show because I almost responded to her like, are you shooting up right now or tomorrow?
Yes, exactly. I don't know. I think she's just, she just loves the show and she's a big supporter. But a lot of times she has dementia, so she has no idea what she's doing or where she's at most of the time. But my main thing is,
she has Alzheimer's, dementia, and
yes, all the things.
No, what's the other thing?
Alzheimer's, dementia.
Or she just gets wild.
Oh yeah, she has Sundowner syndrome.
Yes.
So at nighttime, she goes batshit crazy, even worse than she is during the day. But Nikki P, my question is, how did she even send that and use a social media app, which she's on IG, by the way. You can follow her at move.granny. That's at move.granny. See some of the craziest granny shit you'll see in your life.
You will.
How big was that cell phone that she boofed into the jail, Nikki P? That's what I want to know. Like, are we talking?
I kind of helped her.
Oh, you helped her? All right. So was it an iPhone Mini, or was it a fucking Fold like I have, which is like a tablet folded? Oh, it was a folded, yeah.
But it was unfolded in the process.
All right.
Yeah. It was
good.
It was a bad scene.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, this is also brought to you by Samsung. The new foldable phone for grannies. People over 102 years old.
It's kind of like the old phone.
Yeah. Exactly. With that being said, Nikki P, I think we should go to the second segment of the show. If I can find it.
Absolutely.
If I can find it, that'll be great. Yes, indeed! Yes. Yes, alright.
Perfection at its finest.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's a fine oiled machine over here, Mixture of Variety, I tell you. That's what I tell you.
Fine line, guys.
Yes. So the second segment of the show is Mini Holidays, and Nikki P is going to explain what Mini Holidays is all about.
I will break it down for us. So here at Mixture of Variety, we believe every day is truly a holiday. We should be grateful and thankful for the things that we do have instead of hateful and resentful for the things that we don't have. So luckily for us, every day is actually a holiday in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a list comprised. We never look at it beforehand. And some are hilarious, some are depressing, and some make absolutely no sense. So we're going to get into it. Holidays for Friday, October 6th.
Yes.
23.
Indeed, our first October show.
Ugh. We're almost 2024, guys.
Yes. Oh, can I say really fast, Nikki P? The 26th is a Friday. That's going to be our Halloween show. Okay? It might not be live. It might be recorded, whenever we can record it. But that's going to be our Halloween show. That's all I wanted to say. Okay, go for it. What's the first one?
Fabuloso. I think I did solo. Actually, I did. Come and Take It Day.
All right. You could you could celebrate that in many ways. Yes, you can. Come and take it. It's also Garlic Lovers Day, which I think we celebrate every day, Nick P.
I did.
Big shouts to garlic.
And the lovers.
Yes.
I feel like we should know about this, and it coincides in what we're discussing.
Yeah.
It is Jackie Mayer Rehab Day.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
No.
I don't know. But maybe you guys celebrated. Maybe you know what it is. Leave a comment in the comments. In the comments. This is something I definitely celebrated today, Nikki P. Kids Music Day. Kids Music Day. I just went to a
highly suggest checking out what's it called? Kids Bop? The lock version?
Oh god. No, I have not heard that. Oh, that's great. I can't even imagine how they flip those words.
We've heard it.
Oh, we have heard it?
Yeah, I've made you listen to it.
Damn, I don't even
remember the Kids Bop. Kids Bop?
Yeah, I guess I kind of do. Maybe
There's some like macaroni in the house, like.
Oh yeah. I think I just completely shut it out of my memory completely. But yes, thank you for bringing that up again and traumatizing me once again.
Well, don't fret none, Patient Zero, because it's Mad Hatter Day.
Obviously, you celebrated because you're still in costume, so that's good. That actually looks fun. Fun day.
It does look fun.
This also looks fun, Nikki P. Manufacturing Day.
Ooh.
Yes. With the hard hats and everything. Gotta love it.
You do. And it's also National Badger Day. And they're adorable.
Yeah. I've seen some really ugly ones, but I've seen mainly cute ones. Little Badger.
Mm.
National Coaches Day. Big shouts to the coaches out there. You guys are doing an
Woo.
amazing job. Keep
Especially
it up, keep it up.
cute ones.
Especially, yes.
Yeah.
Because I just sit on the sidelines like a soccer mom. And I just watch. I have no kids that are in the sport participating at all, but I'm just sitting there watching the referees and the coaches. Yeah, good times.
Call that shit, motherfucker.
Yeah. Who the fuck is this guy? Where are his kids?
Well, it is also National Denim Day.
All right, how do you feel about denim?
Love denim.
Yeah.
A good denim, there's
Yeah.
nothing like it.
It goes with everything.
And I'm talking about Levi's, Madewell, J-Brand, Mother,
Yeah.
AG.
There you go.
What am I missing?
What's the Lucky brand? Lucky something?
Lucky's good.
I hate them, actually. I hate their
Yeah,
logo.
me too. I mean, they have no
Pretty-
give, so I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful thing, beautiful thing. I love it because you could just, if it's casual, or if it's at work, or if it's not at work, or if it's going out, like painting the town red. Just whatever it is, you throw in a good pair of... Yeah.
Are we painting the town red in a few?
Yeah, hell yeah, we are.
Oh, okay.
I got the paint already.
Oh.
Bears paint. It's good shit. We'll probably be arrested the first block, but we're gonna paint it. We're gonna paint the town red. Ladies and gentlemen, it's also National Diversity Day. Very important, very good,
Aww.
very happy to hear that. Hopefully you guys celebrated.
And keep in mind, every day should be National Diversity Day.
Yes.
Well, I celebrated because I live with one. It's National German American Day.
All right. There
I don't
you
know
go.
what they're eating, but I've probably eaten it.
Yeah, it doesn't look too appetizing. What do you guys think? Can you see?
It's a kibasi of some sort? Maybe?
Yeah, it just looks like yeah.
Isn't it weird? Everything I think about kibasi, the food, I think about the Busta Rhymes song, Pass the Cavoursier.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't
All
that
right.
weird?
Yeah, it is a little weird.
But shows for me.
It is a little weird. I wish I celebrated this one, National Noodle Day.
Ooh.
I did not, though. I did not celebrate. But I love them.
I love a noodle. It is also National PA Day, which is Physician's Assistant Day.
All right.
One of my many first college majors that I didn't follow through with.
Oh, hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah, that's funny, right? When you look back and you're like, oh, yeah, I studied to be this, didn't finish. I studied to be this, didn't finish. I studied to be this twice and didn't finish.
Twice.
All right, fantastic.
Winning.
Yes, this I did study for. Every day I'm celebrating National Plus Size Appreciation Day.
And
That's
there's
all I have to say
nothing
about
wrong
that.
being plus size, so.
Yeah, plus size in the gay community, bears and cubs is what they're called. That's all I have to say. So there's loving for everybody,
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. Really?
This is probably the stupidest one we've ever done,
Really?
maybe.
Guys, it's also Platter Day.
There's so many things wrong with
And
this.
as in plaid, like the print.
Yeah,
The plaid print. Not like a platter of food, which
right.
I would enjoy more.
Yeah, platter. Yeah, right. Platter Day. It's just so stupid. It's so wrong
I'm
on
in
so
all
many
black,
levels.
by the way.
Yes. And Platter Day also sounds like Saturday, and today's a Friday, so it's just
All
shit
over
show
the
all
place.
around. Yeah. Speaking of shit shows that are all around, it's also World Cerebral palsy day.
Mm,
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
that is rough.
Pretty rough to go through life like that because you have to like depend on other people to do stuff for you. Mentally, you can get your master's degree.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
But your limbs or limb or whatever bottom half
It's sad,
just has a
man.
mind of its own. Yes.
And
Last but
as
not least, go for
always,
it.
out with a bang. My favorite, how I would love to end everything and every day. It is World Smile Day.
Yes, indeed. World Smile Day, ladies and
Are you
gentlemen.
smiling?
Yes, I was a second ago. It's hard for me to smile because I have resting bitch face, so I don't smile that often, but
Smile.
I probably smile the most on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I probably do. That is many holidays for October 6th.
No.
Thank you so
I
much
loved
for...
ending it with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes they don't end it right.
No.
Like even
I'd
the one
rather
right before
have
that.
World Smile Day as an ending than freaking
CP Day, right.
Yeah, like come on.
Yeah. So...
It's awful.
And that's the thing, like, we don't look at these ahead of time, because if we saw those ahead of time and we saw that the CP was the last one, we would have, switched
I would
it.
have rearranged the list.
Exactly.
Personally.
Exactly. But we don't. We do it as the list tells us to
move.
do. We just move and follow the next. Speaking of following the next, Nikki P, it is time.
What are we chatting about?
It is time for the third segment of the show.
And now, the main event.
Nikki P and everybody watching, addiction is no joke.
No.
Addiction is no joke. But there's so many different addictions out there. So many. And some of you may not know that, shit, me and Nikki P met in a halfway house. We talked about it a million times.
We have.
And I'm
Best
so happy.
time of our lives.
Yeah, it was
Be honest.
definitely such a memorable experience, and shines a positive light on my soul every time I think about that experience. But before that experience, shit really hit the fan.
It was not so fun.
No, not at all. Shit really hit the fan for both of us. And
Talk about drama and uneasy and anxiety and depression. All those feelings at once.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. All the time. You feel like you have no control. You feel like you're living for these substances. And you feel like you're trapped. You feel like there's no way out. You feel like, what they say in
jails, institutions,
and deaths. That's what addicts have to look forward to. Jails, institutions, or deaths, or death, or maybe all three.
And even though you are an addict, it's like literally not who you are as a person.
Yes.
It really doesn't define you. Like, right. there is that fine line, but it's like, it's no one, you don't even know who you are.
Yes.
And I think that's the issue.
Yeah.
It's literally an unease within yourself.
Yes. Yep, exactly. And luckily, if you go through the steps or not, luckily, like Nikki P just said, there's step 9, which is like making a list where you start to realize what you've done, and then you try to make amends with those people that you really hurt in your life. And at that point, if you show that you're putting in the action and you're doing the work, to not being that sleazebag, scumbag addict and doing those addict behaviors, then they'll be willing to listen. And then if you're willing to listen, then you could, take the next steps necessary to try to mend that relationship.
Can I just say something too? Like, I was with my aunt earlier. We went on a nice walk, and it's like, I've made the amends with my stepdad, who was never going to forgive me, ever. Like, literally, I'm 34. We're going back 14 years. And like, I thought he would never forgive me. It wasn't until last year. And mind you, I started my rehabilitation journey when I was 21, turning 22. And literally a year ago, like, we made amends. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
My sister and I had a falling out. Like, we've made amends. I slept over her home. Like, I'm in good standing with people, but I need to watch. And this is the other thing. You might not be a true addict to a substance.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you're on that slippery slope, Like, sometimes I overdo it and sometimes I don't. Well, if you sometimes overdo it, either one, you should stop completely, or two, you need the most self-discipline. But since we're talking about addiction, I will say number one, just stop. Stop completely, because it wasn't until my actions changed that, like, I am in good standing with everyone.
Yes.
And I have my fuck ups, and I fuck up, and I say too much or something, but like, I'm not a liar. I'm not a scammer. I'm not a thief.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have integrity behind my actions.
Absolutely.
And that's something, like, if you're on that cusp, really be aware of it.
Yes.
Ultra aware.
Yep.
As you know, I am. I'm the hardest on myself.
Yes. Well, that's what I was gonna say too. As far as you get to a point where you have time on your side, because you're not just talking. You're not just having a saying that you're just saying, I'm gonna do better, or I'm gonna stop doing this. You're actually putting forth the action and you're doing it. And then time could be on your side in that sense, because then your family, friends, loved ones can see the direction that you want to go.
Yeah.
And that you wanted to stop this behavior, and that you're really sorry for everything.
Yeah.
So that's one step of it. Then the other side of that coin is dealing with it yourself, and actually paying attention to yourself, and being okay with yourself, because you did these things, and that guilt and shame will bring you down almost harder than the drugs will. Yeah, you have to. You have to. And that's why, for me, one of the best things that I got out of the meetings when I did go, I don't go anymore, but seeing and hearing other people's stories that were similar to mine, or even worse than mine, that are healing, continue to heal, and got to the point where they got their family back, got to the point where they got their loved ones back, or are okay with themselves, to hold their head up high. And that's one of the things that I just got out of it, for sure. But it's not a joke. It takes a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And Nikki P and myself know a lot about this, and that's why it's one of the main topics we say every week. Mental health and addiction. It's having sex with gay-age aliens. Gay-age aliens, obviously, that's a joke and stuff. Just to say that we cover everything, and we have a huge spectrum of topics and ideas that we talk about. Excuse me. But that's one of the main ones that we say all the time, and it's a biggie. It's a biggie. It's a powerful one, and hopefully we can help you guys out too. Because if you're currently struggling and you just found this randomly on YouTube, you just did an addiction search or something like that, or a hashtag or something like that, you see the number scrolling down on the screen, where you can call right away and get help right away.
Yeah.
So with that, Nikki P, there is a bunch of different ones.
We've done them all.
Yeah, that's another thing too, where you
and I'm not even going to say, like, our stories are so heartbreaking and special. Like, no.
Yeah. No.
Like, no. I've heard worse stories, but it's like the mentality is all the same.
Yes.
There's one goal in mind.
Yes, exactly. Well, and the farther that you go into this darkness, you realize that you are not the same person, and you're becoming a different person. You have this thing over you, because, like you were saying, I never meant to mix this substance with this. I never thought I would try this, and then you're trying that, and you say, oh, I never thought I would try Coke, and then you try, Coke, and then you say you never try pills, and then you try pills. You never try meth, you try meth.
Yeah.
You never sell your body. You'll never pawn everything from your families, or cheat on your boyfriend or girlfriend or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you never think that you would get to that point, but unfortunately that's what happens. So obviously alcohol is a huge one. Caffeine is also a huge one. Well, let's hold off on caffeine for a second. So alcohol and marijuana, weed, hallucinogens, sleeping pills, benzos, barbiturates, inhalants, opioids, cocaine, smoking electric cigarettes, we'll get to that too. And okay, so that's what they mentioned first. Yeah, tobacco, nicotine such as smoking cigarettes and e-cigarettes. Okay, so what I want to say is all the drug ones, if you want to just say like the drugs that are narcotics and illegal.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't have to really talk much about that. You guys realize that if you do that, you're basically going to be addicted, and you're going to go down this path that I just explained. But then you have stuff like caffeine and cigarettes, which is just day-to-day life.
Yeah, you think that's my routine. That's my ritual in the morning.
Exactly. That's your routine. That's what everybody's doing. That's what they say. American runs on Dunkin', right? What does that really mean? America runs on caffeine. It's legal. It's everywhere. Cigarettes are legal. They're everywhere.
It's disgusting.
Alcohol, obviously, same thing. But so, and then caffeine, you have horrible withdrawals if you actually stop.
Yeah. And
then cigarettes, I mean, let's just talk about cigarettes for a second, Nikki P, because this is the one. Like, if I had to stop the show and say, okay, Nikki P, on the count of 3, let's say what the most addicting substance is. We would both say nicotine and cigarettes.
I would say nicotine, and right below that, I would say alcohol. One, they're readily available.
Yeah.
Their sales did not go down during anything that happens in the economy. Like,
yep.
Especially alcohol sales, they seem to boom. And nicotine's just one hell of a drug. I mean, I've stopped for 6 weeks and I've smoked again. And again, I think I said it on the show, like Alan Carr, How to Quit Smoking. It's a great book and it works. It does work. It's made me more mindful to be like, oh my God, why do I want this cigarette? And this was coming from a person who wrote the book, who quit successfully, who was smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day. And even him, he's like, even if you're having 2 cigarettes a day, you're depriving yourself because your body, that little monster in your head wants it. It wants more, it wants more.
Yep.
And it gives you enough dosage to want it. But like, for me, not enough that I'm like chain smoking.
Yeah.
And even, not smoking for 6 weeks and then picking it up again, that first cigarette tastes awful. It tastes awful. You're just like, like, I don't even know why I like this. And you keep smoking it. That's the sick part. It's sick.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been cigarette free how long?
I would say 3.5 years, but that's only because of the last time I actually touched one. I wasn't smoking, but let's say like smoke with a cigarette. But I mean, if you leave that out of the equation, over 5 years. But there was time that I quit 2 years, and then I quit 6 months. And both of those times when I went back, I felt like a piece of shit or whatever. And it's the same thing. I didn't want it at first, and I just said, "Why am I doing this?" And I picked right
after
back
smoking
up.
it.
Yeah, I picked right back up, doing it from like I never left.
Like nothing happened.
Like nothing happened. Bought a pack that same day.
And it's like, why now? Tobacco, as a whole, tobacco is in its original form. It's not bad for you. It's actually, you watched the documentary I told you to watch, How to Change Your Mind.
Yes.
The first episode's on tobacco. Like,
Yes.
it's not bad for you.
Right.
As a, like, ceremonial environment.
Right. Yeah.
But then you
and
add...
that's not the addictive qualities too. That comes from the nicotine.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, his cigarettes are just absolutely insane and awful, and
I mean, the fact that I
hard.
gave a kid a pep talk about smoking cigarettes as I'm smoking one myself.
Yeah.
I was so happy when he was like, next time I see you, I'm going to smack that cigarette out your hand. And I said, I hope you do.
Yeah.
Just not this one. Which shows how, like, powerful it is.
Right. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I remember a Family Guy episode where Peter's...
Stewie?
Well, Peter starts smoking, and he becomes addicted to these cigarettes, and then he looks awful, and his face is, like, sunken in and stuff. And he says, he's upstairs in the house, and he says, all right, this is my last cigarette, you know what I mean? And he's, like, halfway done with it. He flicks it out the window, and by the time it even gets a chance to hit the ground, he's outside, and he caught it. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, that's
me.
That's just wild. It's just absolutely wild. And you did say this already, but addiction is the disease of more. That's really what it is. I want more. I can't get enough. I want more. I want more. Whatever it is. Which is why.
And not even more. I mean, I know whenever I overdo it with a substance, whether it's smoking or having a glass of wine, like something innocent, like the times I do over drink and over smoke, there is a dis-ease within myself, and I feel it. Yes. I'm anxious, I'm depressed, I'm like bored. You know, boredom's a huge thing, but why are you bored? Yeah. You could just be relaxing.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, you know, and the substance are in its own category. And then you have the disease of more when it comes to these other activities. Yeah. Like gambling and eating, exercising or dieting, shopping, shoplifting or other risky behaviors, having sex, viewing pornography, video gaming, using the internet, just being on your phone. I mean, the apps are extremely addicting. Regular social media apps and stuff like that.
I see some of the people I work with, or even like family members or friends. And like, can I just show you? Like, I have my home screen, one app screen, and like another. I see people with like 10. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, doesn't that make you anxious? This makes me anxious.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know, like I overplay solitaire and I'm like, oh my God, I'm on my phone too much.
Yeah.
I'm going over my 45-minute limit on Instagram and I'm like, oh my God, I got to delete it.
Yeah.
And
a
like,
lot of people
again,
don't do that.
I'm my own worst enemy. Like we've been through what we've been through. So for me, you know, for you too, I'm sure we look into more of what we do harshly.
Sure. Yeah, of course. I mean, a lot of people don't set time limits. A lot of people are not even aware of how much they use. And I've seen it too. And I was one of those people just because I have those addiction tendencies, if you will.
Yeah.
Where, like, if I got into sports betting or something like that, it would be a problem. I'd be homeless.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it would be something like that. Eating, I have a problem with that. Shopping, I have a problem with that. Having sex, I wish that was a problem. But, you know, but like, you know, these behaviors that people would be porn. These video games, no, not so much. And then just using the internet. So like these apps and stuff, people don't have these time limits and stuff like that, or are not even aware.
Yeah.
But they'll have, like you said, they'll have 10 on one screen of all different social media. So it's like you get a message here, you get a notification here, you're checking that, you check that for 5 minutes, then you go to the next one, then you go to the next one, then you go to the next one.
You know me, I can't even handle Instagram and text messaging. Like that's a lot for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you know, it's a lot of it has to do with just being aware and mindful, which is other podcasts that we've done before about mindfulness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's so important because if you don't even know that you're doing this, it's, you know, it's gonna become a problem. It's gonna definitely become a problem.
Even like me being off for 2 months when I like broke my wrist and had the surgery, like my screen time on my phone went up to 5 hours. And it
Yeah.
literally said your screen time's higher than your average over the last four weeks. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because like there's only so much TV you can watch. There's only so much mobility you have. So you're on your
Right.
phone.
Right. Yep.
But seeing those numbers is very alarming, and it makes you second guess it. Like I shouldn't be on the phone this much.
Yeah. And just overall, I mean, it's a part of us now.
Yeah.
It's almost like you know, we talk about the AI, the chip, the brain chip and stuff like that. It's kind of like a chip that we're holding. It's not actually inside of us, but we, you know, go just for shits and giggles, just put your phone down and don't touch it for 3 days. You know what I mean?
I wish.
Like, people would really lose their fucking mind. Which actually brings us to this section. If you scroll down a little bit, the inability to stop. That's you know, one of the things to be mindful about. Increased tolerance. Over time, they may need more of the substance or the activity to feel the same euphoric effects as they did before.
No.
You wanna get the next one? You see where we're at? I kind of scrolled
Lack
down
of
pretty
control.
quick. Lack of control. Yep.
Personal problems and health issues.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
withdrawal.
Yeah.
I mean, withdrawal, I've definitely felt with, I mean, the obvious cocaine, which,
Yeah.
I mean, duh. But like, even with the cigarettes, like getting irritable, getting antsy, getting anxious, like
Sure. Absolutely. Get kinda-
short-tempered. And
Yeah.
that's like, again, I think because it's legal and so many people smoke, and actually so many people are not smoking nowadays, thank God. Hopefully I will join them soon. But that's the
Yeah.
other thing. It's like it's so widely acceptable, and it's like a silent killer. It's a slow, silent killer.
Yes.
You know, we're in our 30s, smoking up a storm, socializing, blah, blah, blah. And then you're in your late 50s, 60s, and it's like, oh, you have small cell lung cancer and you're going to die in 3 months.
Yeah. Right.
And we know that. That's the thing. We know that.
Yeah.
And it's
Yep.
still not enough to make us stop indefinitely.
It's not enough.
It's sick.
It is
The
absolutely
sickest
sick.
addiction I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I've never been into like heroin or like things that I know are highly addictive
Yeah.
and a dependency, like, you know, physical withdrawal, but like nicotine, I'm shocked. Especially
Yeah.
reading that book, especially trying to put into practice being mindful, smoking a cigarette because do I really want one or do I feel like out of sorts? Or am
Yeah.
I doing it because I'm bored?
Yeah. Which a lot of the times is just because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember quitting, and then when I was still drinking, if I was drinking, I'd smoke half a pack of cigarettes just at the bar.
Oh, really?
Easy. And then go be okay maybe for the next couple days or something like that. But if I was quitting, I couldn't quit while I was drinking.
No.
They just went hand in hand. There's just no way. You know, after sex, cigarette.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not my thing.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. But that's what I'm just saying. Like, it's more like a habit thing, like a ritual thing.
Exactly.
And being more than
It's like for many
addiction.
people, oh, I wake up, I have my coffee and my cigarette.
Yeah.
That's your hand in hand.
Yeah.
For me, it's not even like that. It's like I really like cut out the coffee, the caffeine.
Yeah.
And that was an addiction in itself. But it was because I was off of work. now I realize going back to work, my first 4 days, I was getting a coffee every morning and smoking a cigarette.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, it's how you correlate that ritual.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And really, to put all this in perspective, Nikki P, I still want one.
Yeah.
I still get cravings. I still get cravings. Some days are just bad. Some days I just say, what am I doing? And whatever. But some days they just don't go away. And like I said, we're talking years.
And keep in mind, in all actuality, a craving only lasts, 5 seconds?
Yeah, something like that. 5, 10 seconds. Yeah, something like that.
It's not long.
No, it's not long at all. It's not. And if you can get past those first 3 to 5 days where you don't kill anybody, that's a plus.
So 3 days, all the nicotine is out of your system. 3 weeks, there's something with 3 weeks. But like your desire or your addiction or ritual should be null. Like it shouldn't even be there.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Shouldn't be, but yes.
Shouldn't, but
right.
We're human.
Yes. So overall, also under symptoms and causes is genetics. 40 to 60% of the vulnerability to any SUD if you have a first-degree relative, biological sibling, or parent with a substance abuse disorder. You're more likely to develop one.
Fabulous.
Yes. This next one is pretty fucked up because I remember hearing about this and it just made perfect sense to me because how many people have some type of mental health or mental illness, mental health condition, mental health issue, or mental illness that also have a substance abuse issue. They're completely intertwined. They really are.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of times it sucks because growing up, I can say for myself, growing up, I didn't realize that I had all, these things and was feeling so different. And the only way that I knew how to feel undifferent was to basically use.
Self-medicate. Yeah.
To self-medicate. And that's how it started. That's how it all started for me. And then it just became an addiction because I didn't know how any other way to live.
And that's the thing they always said with like cocaine, for example, like that was my drug of choice. So I'm going to speak on that because I know, but like they also said if you had anxiety or you were anxious, if you did cocaine, it would mellow you out and you could fall asleep in 20 minutes. I mean, that wasn't the case for me. I wish, but like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's why, like, this one's going to bed. You have an underlying issue. Maybe my underlying issue isn't anxiety, but it's like depression. And I'm getting my like reuptake and my serotonin.
Sure.
I mean, the brain is insane and people still can't figure it out.
Yeah. Yep. It's insane. You're right. The brain is insane.
In the membrane?
In the membrane. We'll add that to the merch shirts. Yeah, and then environmental factors, which, this is... If you're brought up with trauma, or you're brought up with, certain things, or you see certain things, or your parents are not there, or your parents are addicts, and they say, you go to, what's that court? Family court or something like that.
Yeah.
And they'll say to the parents, if you don't stop using drugs, we're going to take your kids away. And they don't stop using drugs. No. And they take their kids away. Like you said before, there's not anything that's enough that you could take away or threaten them with that's going to make them stop.
No.
Finally, ladies and gentlemen, management and treatment.
Oh, yes.
There is hospital management, which kind of goes along with the mental illness part, I would say, too. Like, you're kind of diagnosed if you go to the hospital, or you get to the point where you just overdose and you're at the hospital, or, whatever.
But isn't it
medications.
sad? Some places, I mean, I know, especially upstate in New York, like you literally have to overdose or be withdrawing to get into rehab.
Yes, that is true. And the first rehab that I went to before Able House, they said we didn't have a bed available if you weren't intoxicated.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Yeah, I
Like,
believe you.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, you know, the system is fucked in so many ways, but it can help us out there if you want it. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
If you want to stop, that's how it's gonna.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have to want it.
You have to want it. You see all these shows like intervention and stuff like that. Interventions don't work for the most part because unless the person is actually ready. If the person is completely ready and wants to dedicate and do this, then they'll do this. They'll do it. But otherwise, it's not going to work.
I feel like with intervention though, and not all interventions, but like they're so enabled. Like I want to say 80% of them, they're so enabled.
Yeah.
By keeping the ties with my family. Like I fucked up, but I didn't fuck up. Like, I don't want to compare because you shouldn't compare, but like in comparison, like I wasn't as wild or like to that point, and my family was just like, no, bye.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you have that tough love environment, you're kind of forced in it. Yeah. In a way.
Yeah.
Like, oh, these people who love me, who are like, who the fuck are you? This isn't you. You're so much better than this. I think that can always struck a chord in someone, unless, I mean, again, I wasn't that far down. I was down enough in my own opinion, but like, it took me that to be like, oh my God, my family? No way. Exactly. I can't be without you.
Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. I lost my apartment, I lost my job, and I lost my fiance, and I kept using. I would go to meetings and hear horror stories about people that they have not talked to their family in a decade. And I said, well, at least through everything, at least I know that my family will never like treat me like that or turn their backs on me. And then little did you know, this incident happened with my little sister, who we have a totally different relationship now. It's great and it grows by the day. Yeah. But we didn't talk for over a year, and that did something to me. That did something to me because I was like, I'm gonna be one of those people talking in the meetings. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I can't let that happen. So I definitely feel you there. 110%. Rehab, obviously, we kind of talked about, and then therapy and support groups, And if you guys want more information about that, yes.
Be honest when you talk. No one's judging you.
Exactly.
No one gives a shit. All the crazy shit you done. Again, you're not special in that aspect.
Yeah.
And literally just be honest and take the help.
Yeah. That's the best advice right there. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, there's that number right there scrolling across the screen. It's an easy number. Just put that on your phone, dial it. You'll get help immediately. And hopefully this podcast helped you guys out as well. And Nikki P, what do they have to do before we get out of here?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please, before you leave or after you leave, put into your browser Mixture of Variety Podcast. You will see our beautiful faces, and please like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Yes, indeed. Love you. Yes, indeed. Yes, love you guys so much. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. And we will not have a show next week because we're going to be painting the town red.
Yes.
See, I got so excited I knocked Gator's flag out of his head.
Shit.
So, but the week after that, we will, and then the Halloween show. So stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram at Mixture of Variety. That's at Mixture of Variety. All right, guys. See you next week. No, we won't.
Love you.
See you in 2 weeks. Deuces. Love you guys. Love you.